It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of varsity athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U-Sport. Wilson, le ballon officiel de U-Sport. Official U-Sports basketball. Et par Green Shield Canada, fier partenaire en titre du 8 ultime Green Shield U-Sport 2024. And by Green Shield Canada, proud title partner of the 2024 Green Shield U-Sports Final 8.
Welcome back here to St. Foy, Quebec. We get ready for game number 2 on day number 2. It is UVic against Brock. Both lost tough ones yesterday. Greg Campbell, Mocon here. All right, Greg. Winner of this game plays UCAM for 5th place tomorrow. How did they come out? Because the emotional loss that they had in different ways was quite evident yesterday.
Well, when you look at the first side with the Brock Badgers, I mean, they scored 7 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter, being outscored 40-13 in that first half. That's no winning formula at the end of the day. The good news is they outscored their opponents 2-1 in the paint, 36-18. The bad news, they're 8% from the land beyond. And it was a freshman, actually, in Andrew McKenna that led all scorers for the Badgers. The only player in double figures at 12 points. And then you look at the other side, the Victoria Vikes coming in here. Can West champions. Penultimate favorite potentially to win this tournament. Player of the year in Diego Mafia. He has 26 points yesterday. Goes 4 of 15 from the land beyond. The two other contributors, Elias Ralph, Ronaldo Robinson, combined for 27, but they go 6 of 21 from the field. And the big reason why they're in this game today is because they are a slow starting team. It's something that plagued them in the Can West Finals in that playoff run, and it bit them in the back end yesterday. Laval, a 21-11 first quarter run, en route to the upset of potentially all-time U-Sports history in men's basketball.
We'll find out today. Winner will play UCAM tomorrow at 12 noon. Will it be UVic? Will it be Brock? We'll find out for Consolation number 2 on CBC Sports, your home of the 2024 Men's U-Sports Final 8, presented by Michelob Light.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first.
D'abord,
Only Green Shield combines
de...
your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
Welcome back to Saint Foy. Up next are the player interests for Brock and UVic, courtesy of Marc-Antoine Garapi.
Le numéro 11, number 11, Azae Budioso. Et le numéro 13, and number 13, George Fwamba Ngandu. L'entraîneur-chef des Badgers, the head coach, Willie Madigan. Et maintenant, voici l'alignement partant du côté des Vikes. And now, for the Vikes, le numéro 1, number 1, Aaron Tesfa-Georges. Le numéro 2, number 2, Elias Ralph. Le numéro 6, number 6, Diego Mafia. Le numéro 10, number 10, Shannon Smith. Et le numéro 14, and number 14, Reynaldo Robinson. L'entraîneur-chef des Vikes, the head coach, Craig Beaucamp.
Welcome back here to St. Foy, Quebec. Brock against UVic in a matchup of the consolation round. These teams did meet before during the preseason. So there is some history with these two teams here, Greg, and how this played out for them earlier this season. But again, both teams had differing paths to get here. An emotional loss for UVic and a close one against the host Laval Rougior. And for Brock, they were run out of the gym by Dalhousie.
Well, they first beat the defending national champions in the Carleton Ravens by 1 point in the OUA round 1. Then they defeat Ottawa Western, and then they lose to Queens before just getting toyed around with Dalhousie here at Laval. And then on the other side, the #1 team in the country for 3 weeks during the regular season, no lower than 2. Ralph gets it to start the party here on your Saturday afternoon.
So Ralph gets this party going on here. He had a fabulous game yesterday for the Vikes, and now they're off to a 2-0 lead. The Brock Badgers had a terrible first half against Dal, and that loss, and that was it. They were a first-round knockout, and they want to avoid that against UVic. And here comes a strong play, and that goes out of play as Kevon Ellis from Hamilton, Ontario, scoring 9 a game. And that goes back over to UVic.
That's altered by Shaden Smith, 31 minutes yesterday. 7 points, but more importantly, 11 rebounds and 4 blocks. His ability to alter shots and play the pick and roll with Mafia is key in this game.
And here's Mafia with it, with a late 3, but not enough. And that 3 does not go through, rebounded by the Badgers. And here they come back the other way. The Badgers led by Jordan Chuente, who had a quiet game, but again, not the most effective effort. And that is a missed jumper from Hackett. And the putback right there, we're back to 2-2.
And they're just going to want second chance opportunities. Both teams started slow. Laval a 10-point lead after the first quarter. And then, as you mentioned, Brock single-digit scoring in the first half in each quarter, and then just got run out of the building. 27-point differential in the first half.
Here's Ralph off the rim. Rebound right over to the Badgers. It comes, and here's Hackett with it once more as he looks to get himself going on the spin. Hackett, kick out. Budioso in. Hackett on the interplay. 14 left in the shot clock. Ellis, jab step, looking, waiting, driving, kick out. Chuente trying to get around Ralph, nothing yet. And now the 3. And a rebound right over to the Badgers, new 14 for them, and they want to get this rebounding number in their favor. They hit about 38 rebounds per game during the regular season. And still a 2-2 game. And how do you expect to end this first 5 minutes, how this plays out for either side?
Well, nice little whip pass across the pond there as Ralph can't get it to go. But you want to see how angry is one of the player of the years in terms of best players in the country, and Diego Mafia, and that 1-2 punch with Elias Ralph. How do they respond after an emotional letdown yesterday? So how angry are they? How's the three-point mark look for them? They shot 24% from the land beyond. Yesterday, way down from the 35% during the regular season, which they were first in makes and attempts at 12 a game.
Here's Budioso. Played some heavy minutes yesterday against Dal. And now trying to get himself going. Chuente in the paint. Back out to the flats. That's a miss from Hackett. Rebounded, or Robson could not get that. Now twisting and turning, and Hackett back on possession as a new 14. 10 left on the shot clock for the Badgers. And here's Chuente, eyeball to eyeball, trying to get around Mafia. And Mafia with the quick hands, and Schmid back on the run. Mafia in transition. Here's the three, and that is a rim out again, and Schmid can't get the rebound cleanly. Diving out there is Chuente. Popped up right back to Robinson, who now looks for options to work with. There's a whistle, and there is going to be a stoppage in play.
Got to reset the shot clock here, as it was not properly reset off the initial miss there. So look at the shooting percentages each side right now. 4 of the 5 attempts for the Vikes have come from the land beyond. They've only made 1 make in this game. And the flip side, 1 of 6 for the Badgers at 17%.
Here's Schmid. Here is Mafia. Back out it comes to Ralph, and the forearm, and sliding into the university part of the logo is the Brock Badger and Chuente. This goes back over to the team in red and white.
Well, Chuente is the guy you want to see get going in this contest after a disappointing game yesterday. Only 9 points off 4-13 shooting. He didn't chip in on the glass at 14 rebounds, but for a guy that averages 14 points per game, we know the rebounding numbers. He's 3rd in total in that category, averaging 9.1 a game, but you want to see him touch up on the scoring here. The Badgers want to get to Sunday.
Here is Chuente, and that's popped in the air by Robson, who's been a thief of ball passes coming in from the opposition, and now coming into the underneath the land, and that goes nowhere, and now it's dead to rights for Kevon Ellis.
Robinson one too many times yesterday, a little cheeky with his dribbling here.
And that is denied. And here comes Chuente, a 3-on-1 for the Badgers. Hackett stripped away by Mafia. And now we go from one end to the other end, and Robson back on the 1v1. And the transition, the layup is good. And a big basket here for UVic. They're back up by a score of 4-2, courtesy of Ethan Bogue.
It's a premier play by their premier offensive player, and that of Mafia. 2 strips there, but more importantly, he established both feet back in bounds after being on the baseline there.
Chuente off the side iron. Rebound, last touch by Brock. It goes back over to UVic.
On the 3-point shot for the Badgers, they're not too shabby themselves in that category. Make 9 a game. That's good for 5th and 33%. He's also 5th in the OUA, but you look at them from the 3-point line yesterday, not their mark, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 2 of 26 for 8%.
And now this will go back over to UVic. 6:10 left in this quarter of play. First period of action. Game number 2 of 4. We got 2 more to go, which is the medal importance over there with Queens against Ottawa and Dal against Laval in the nightcap here from St. Quentin on day number 2. And here's Robinson with it.
Another slow start by the Vikes here. 2 points and 4 minutes gone here. Or 4 points, my apologies.
And the Vikes, they hit a lot of shots, and they do this time. They score by 92 points, and that is courtesy of number 1 and Tesfa Georges as he gets his first 3 of the day. They're up by a score of 7-2.
Yeah, they can all. There's a ton of guys that can clip it. He's one of them at 35%, even though he averages just 5 a game.
Budioso back out, and here is the high flyer for the Badgers. McKenna, who will defer back over. The jumper is short. Rebound is good this time, courtesy of Gessman, who gets his first 2 points, a German native.
Nice touch on the inside there on the follow-through, and you see the size differential so far. Brock controlling the glass here.
Robson trying to penetrate. Here is Schmid, and there is a whistle. There is going to be a foul, and we go back to what it was with 5:13 left and a stoppage play.
They've already got more offensive boards than the Vikes do total at this point, 4-2 in that category. They're winning 8-2 overall, as a couple substitutions coming here.
So Robson out, and they'll bring in number 9 for the Vikes in Griffin Arnott.
And Hellman will check in as well, the sophomore.
And this will be Vic Ball with 5:13 left. And here is Bo Schmid. Back out it comes
high 2-3 zone here.
The three missed by Mafia, recovered by McKenna, and here come the Badgers the other way, trying to navigate through the construction zone and in for the two, courtesy of Sorkonovic, and he gets his first two of the day.
Mafia's over all three shots from the land beyond now. He does have 2 assists, though. He's a good facilitator. It's just a matter of, does he start deferring to the rim and attacking the paint?
Mafia whipping the pass from the near flats. Splash going in this time for the Vikings, courtesy of Arnott, who hits about 45% from three.
And that over-the-shoulder pass is so authoritative, but it looks so nonchalant when he's throwing it.
It's easy as it looks, perhaps. And
perhaps we hear our voice over the broadcast into the stadium, and now they shut us off.
You never know. And now here's the Brock Badgers trying to work their way through McKenna on a twist and turn, corkscrewing his way through, off the window and in. Now they are down by 2.
Different sound there, too. I've never heard that before, partner.
We're corkscrewing.
No, we were literally like off the PA announcement. You could hear us throughout the building.
Oh, perfect. And here's from the center arc. Off the iron, rebound right by Schmid. And the Vikes will get another 14 out of this, and that's back over to Ethan Bogue once more. Mafia, whistle, and a foul, and he will go to line with 3:51 left.
He's just so good at getting his shot when he wants it, where he wants it. However, most of his takes from the three-point line, you'll notice, are between the arcs in the volleyball dimensions set up on the court here. You see in the darker brown, but the three-point shot isn't going well. He looks to defer inside. We got our first timeout of the game.
Timeout call on the court. Stay tuned. 10-8 lead for Victoria over Brock in the Consolation round number 2. You're watching the 2024 U Sports Men's National 8, presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
The 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy is headed to the campus of the University of Saskatchewan for the first time March 14th to 17th. Single game tickets start at $10 for children, $22 for adults. Click the QR code at the bottom of your screen or visit usas.universitytickets.com to order your tickets today. The 2024 Green for Life U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Saskatoon. Chase the glory, and that is your backyard, Mr. Campbell.
They're hoping for nice weather next week. I mean,
what is the temperature like?
Oh, this weekend, balmy around -2 to +3 throughout the last 4 or 5 days. So it's a good weekend in Saskatoon, considering last year was snowing up until the end of April. So that El Nino effect we're feeling across Canada. I mean, it's been a great winter, honestly. Being out there, it's only been really 3 or 4 weeks of really, really cold weather.
That's too much for my liking.
Casual, -25, -30 before the wind chill most days. Have a block heater. I learned what that was when I moved out there.
And right now, here's McKenna with the heater, and he can't finish that one. Rebounded by Truente, and off the window, rebounded again by Bogue. It's been a clash of humanity on the court with 3:34 left in this game. I don't know what a block heater is. You can explain to me that.
Well, first, let's talk about Sergio Pereira there with the overextension there, and him and Truente on the battle on the inside. It's Truente that's actually getting called on the rebounding foul. But a block heater is essentially a way to heat up your car, because most cases it's not going to heat itself when it's -35 before the wind chill. So little compartments you include into your car, you hook it up to some sort of electrical outlet, just kind of preheat the engine there overnight for a couple hours. So, if you want to get to work and you want your car to start, that's probably the best approach.
I'll have to ask my friend Heidi, who lives in Regina, about that. She has a block heater.
Unless you have one of those high-end bougie vehicles that can self-start and handle.
You never know. Here is Moffitt, who can start it up, and he does with a 3 right down Victoria. And now they're up by a score of 14-8.
He finally gets one to go. He was 0-3 from that mark and the field until that made three-pointer there.
Chabola in the game. Looking for the outlet, and that's taken away by Mafia. He's got Pereira to his right, now to his left, back to the right, and now Mafia finds the trailer. Bogue in for the two, and now it's a 14-16-8 lead for the Vikes.
And you see that little fist pump by Mafia there, who averages 27 a game, but again, just such an artist when it comes to distribution of the ball.
Yeah, he had 23 assists against UBC Okanagan during the regular season. They hit about 13 a game. Hackett denied. Second by the cherry. Back out to McKenna on the far side. Going strong. The athlete cannot finish that one. Pereira can't get to it, and now back to Mafia the other way.
This is where they're dangerous.
And the transition three. Splash! And now they're up 19-8.
He'll do that. He's second in terms of three-point makes, and that's a big reason why this kid will pull it up from anywhere with authority and flush it.
Stay tuned here. The Vikes are cruising along this first quarter of play, 19-8. You're watching their 2024 U Sports Men's Final 8 from St. Paul, Quebec, presented by the Globe Light on CBC Sports. Welcome back here. It's been a flyer for the Vikes. They have had a massive run of points here. Diego Mafia being the central figure, the box office name for the UVic Vikes and how they operate their offense. He is the supply line when it comes to shooting and distribution of the passes.
I mean, it's a three-point mark that killed them yesterday. Only 8 3-pointers in that game. They're already up to 4 here, but this is what they do. When they get confident, Diego Mafia, it's like you're being attacked by multiple members of the Mafia, the way he slices and dices and dissects you with either the shot, which is trigger quick release, or in terms of cutting you up with his partners on the court.
So Jordan Nelson in the game from Brampton, Ontario, and that is denied by Pereira. They hit about 4.5 blocks per game. They had 10 against Saskatchewan earlier this season. The Vikes, and now Rob's it back on. Here is Bogue around McKenna. Bogue in the paint to the left, in for the two. They're up by a score, 21-8.
Nice hezzy there, and then in the final step through in the left hand. Good looking shot there by the junior, who averages 5.5 a game.
Yeah, Nelson saw no action against Queens in the final in the OUA. Had 7 points twice in the game against York. And now here he is, losing the handle through the wickets of Pereira as he got nutmegged by that ball. And this will go back to UVic.
Thought that was off the Vikes last, but good help by Ronaldo Robinson as he spun into no man's land right by that free throw area. And normally you think it's easy to distribute the ball there, but just perfectly timed help as he was spinning there.
Robinson back with it. And now here is the Vikes. Pereira, his first touch on offense in the game now is Izzy Hellman. And here he is.
Playing 5 out here.
Nylon, Hellman. And right now they are putting a blast to Brock, and they've had no answer. And you think about it right now, partner, in the first quarter alone, as we speak, Brock has scored 14 points through 2 opening quarters of play.
Yeah, and they've held them to single digits here once again, but it's the three-point shot that's killing them defensively right now.
Back into the paint, kick out, Hackett. Nylon, he comes up with his own 3. Hackett is a 9% three-point shooter, but that's a big one for the Badgers.
And it's the first one they hit after starting 0 of 3 from that category, now shooting 31% from the field, but the Vikes
stolen
56%.
By Hackett, and here come the Badgers the other way. Can they punish the Vikes? They'll circle the wagons around, and this will be Nelson who will give it back over to Hackett. Around the protractor, McKenna. That rims out, rebounded by the Vikes.
Just slow it down here. Both teams will get a crack here to end the first quarter.
Robinson trying to give them a crack, and here is Pereira inside the teeth, and he got that ball repelled away, loose ball, and there's an injured Badger on the court, and that looks like it is Hackett who's down right now by way of Brampton, Ontario.
And the freshman just crashed hard into the paint there when he's trying to save that ball matched up against Pereira initially, as athletic staff will come over here, and you see him driving into the lane, and then as Pereira gets him, he starts sliding backward, might fall awkwardly on that right ankle for a second there. It's holding the left one there.
Yeah, looks like the left. 23-11 lead, 22.8 left here in this first quarter play. Greg Campbell Mocon on game number 2. It is Brock, it is UVic, it is the Can West champions against the OUA runner-ups. In this situation now for the Vikings, we're now seeing what we would have thought would be the case yesterday. The Vikes that are now running and gunning, and they are splashing threes left, right, and center.
Yeah, and it starts and ends, as mentioned, with Diego Mafia. He's only got 2 as Hackett's going to get up on his own accord and jog pretty fast, actually, towards the bench. He's got 7 points to lead all scorers, but Badgers still doing a good job controlling the offensive boards. They've got 6-2 in that category, 12-7 advantage overall, but Victoria, we were waiting for it yesterday. When do they hit you with those rows and piles of threes? And the Badgers, unfortunately, are on the wrong hand of it here in the first quarter.
So Hackett's going to be looked at by the training staff in the far end of the corner of the gym, as he did hurt his lower body, and it is Robson on the end line. And back out it comes, and with it now is Hellman. Robson against the top hitter, Kevon Ellis. Fouled off from the shot clock. Robson to the left. And that is what you call the other way for Brock.
It was a great split there. If you see Pereira there as the one tried to overcheat the screen in that scenario, you see them hedge their bets. He slips between the two, but then standing tall outside the paint are the Badgers, and good charge drawn there by that of the senior in Bodioso.
And here come the Badgers the other way. The last action with 5 seconds left. Bodioso, Chuente, Ellis, Nylon at the death. They're down by a score of 23-14. We've seen a ping of 3-point shots in this first quarter of play. Could Brock make it a run here? They're down by 9 in this first quarter with round number 2 coming up. Stay tuned. This is the 2024 U Sports Men's National Championships presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
The 2024 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship is headed to the campus of McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, March 15th to the 17th. Tournament packages and single game tickets are on sale now. Click the QR code at the bottom of your screen or visit marauders.ca/tickets to order yours today. The 2024 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship in Hamilton, Ontario. Chase the glory, and right now the Vikes have been chasing nothing but threes in that first quarter play. Greg, it was a raining of threes. I know it rains a lot in Victoria, but they definitely were enjoying the three-point barrage that they had.
Well, it's what they're accustomed to on the year. They average 12 makes a year. That's good for first or fourth in percentage, first in attempts, and they've held true to their averages in the first quarter here. But a pair of corner threes by the Badgers has made this a more respectable first quarter, and they actually, in this first quarter alone, surpassed by 1 point the total number of points they put up in the first half in the quarterfinal loss, in which they were outscored 40-13 against Dalhousie.
Yeah, 4 times they've had 17 threes or more. They went 17 of 40 against Thompson Rivers, and this is a whistle going the other way back to the Vikes.
That's a mistake on Chuente there on the screen on the push-off. You have to keep your feet set, and the extension cannot happen, and that's the bare minimum when you're saying an offensive pick like that.
It is tough on teams, though, right? The motivational factor, where is it at? Because you're not playing for a medal now, and you're trying to play for pride and put your seniors on a winning note, leaving their last game or two coming up this weekend.
Well, you see the Badgers have been playing high-level basketball as Ralph
and can't hit the three on that one. Rebound right over to Nelson. He'll bring it back up. The Bramptonita will switch a play, drop pass back out over Ellis, inside the teeth, and a whistle and a foul as Fuwama Gandu getting fouled.
They've just had to work themselves into this position. So they've been in grinded out mode since round 1 in the OUA playoffs when they pulled off a shocker against the defending national champions and won by 1 point on the road. And then, as mentioned, they smacked around Ottawa for a little bit, who will be in one of the semifinal matchups here later on in the first semifinal matchup at 6 p.m. on CBC Sports. But, you know, outside of that, they beat Western on the road, and then they fell short at the buzzer to Queens, who will play Ottawa in that semifinal.
Yeah, Fuwamba, I beg your pardon, and Gandu missing the free throw.
It's a mouthful to look at, partner.
It is. The three is not going to go in this time for Kevon Ellis. A little bit easier in the name of Kevon Ellis.
That's one to say it 3 times as fast as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, 23-14 lead. The Vikes have found their flow, but right now it feels like that the Brock Badgers have been glitched up a ton here with some of the quality chances they had that they missed upon.
You see Mafia's going to draw the foul there, but you just have to convert against a team like the Vikes. That's a huge thing. I mean, look at Laval yesterday. They shot 38% from the field. That's a winning formula, and you hold them to 24% from the land beyond. So you have to go stride for stride, especially offensively against a team like this. If you can't make stops, and there's one on the turnover.
And they will go stride for stride. Here is Bodioso with the Euro, the first class taking punch to the skies, and he will get this down to 7 for the Vikes.
Well, he said right this way, you can bypass economy there, as he just kind of put his hands down and let him Euro stepped into the lane at free will.
Mafia's in the mood. Back heel, rebound, right to Truente.
That behind the back, or through the legs behind the back crossover is one of the most disgusting things he can pull off as a player. He did that a number of times in the Cam West Championship, left guys on the floor.
The lefty splash, Budiosa hitting that three, and he has been good so far today, as again for Budioso, he's bringing this team back in down by 4. Timeout called on the court. It is Victoria 23, Brock 19. You're watching the 2024 U Sports Men's Final 8, brought to you by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
Welcome back. As we see the bracket right now is starting to fill up on both ends of the consolation round, and of course the one that really has caught the eye of many is the medal round, and we have our final 4, Laval against Dalhousie, but first up with Queens and Ottawa at 6 p.m., then 8 p.m. prime time, Laval and Dow, and we'll have our final 2 confirmed just around 10 o'clock tonight.
I mean, a bit of a rivalry in semifinal number 1. Queens, Ottawa, not separated by much drive-wise, geography-wise, and then on the other side, the 2 surprises we may call it at that, especially in Laval, and then Dow with the team of 4 juniors and the rest freshmen and sophomores putting their stamp on the tournament early.
Elman back out there. Tesfa Georges is also back out there, and Moth has been there for like every second. Behind the back he goes. To the flats it comes. And back over to Hellman for 3. And rebound. Ralph denied. He's fouled by Truente. And I believe that's personal foul number 2 on the number 1 shirt for Brock.
He's not going to like it. It should be foul number 3 if I'm reading this correctly.
Yes, I apologize.
I mean, he doesn't like it, but they're chasing versus rotating at this point. That's the ball movement rate started again by Mafia, and then it's just a matter of catch-up at this point. And even though they get their switches correctly, there's inside positioning for that of Elias Ralph. He'll go to the line. 1 of 4 so far, 2 points, 2 rebounds.
57% free throw shooter from Alberta.
One of the weak spots for the junior. He averages just a hair under 16 a game, but elite as a three-point shooter as well. 6 and makes, 46% from the land beyond, 5th in percentage, 8.4 rebounds a game.
Okotoks, Alberta is where he's from. Elias Ralph sometimes scored 20-plus points in a game and had 25 to win over UBC. 15 times he shot 40% or better during the regular season. They're up by a score of 24-19. Bodioso kicking it out. McKenna on a jab against Ralph. And McKenna cannot get that over the mountains, and now recovered by the Vikes as they go back the other way south of 8.
Well, they beat Ralph on the jab there, who guessed the wrong way, but lack of a finish as Mafia goes to work.
Mafia, the putback, no good. Rebound right to Bodioso. They're only down by 5, so they're back in this game, Brock. Could this be the run of hope that they're looking for? Bodioso hit a 3 at the end of the first quarter, and the jumper is incomplete. Rebound right back to the Vikes, and we go back and forth. A lot of one-and-dones late.
Well, Ralph's the guy that they call on when Mafia gets the attention.
Hellman, back heel, rebound right back to Hackett, who's back in the game, which is good news for the Brock Badgers.
Hellman's now 0 of 2 from the land beyond.
And Hackett is going to be 0 for 1 on that play, rebounded by Schmid. So we're seeing a lot of courage right now by both teams in this matchup.
Bodioso with 5, Mafia 7 to lead all scorers.
From the center arc, and you see why he's leading all scorers. Diego Mafia, brilliant, cool finish from him, and they're up by 8.
Bogue with 6, Mafia now with 9, all 3 shots made from the land beyond. He's got 4 assists as well, so he might be on his way to a double-double as well.
A silky player for this Viking team, and now about to come into the game for the first time is Marlon Leston for the Badgers. And there's a whistle in the play, and that will stop with 6:50 left.
And Agandu gets boxed out there, and then he's just trying to lean over the defender who's kind of stuck the tush out there in the box out to try and hold off his positioning as Ralph will get checked out of the game, as is Hellman.
And right now being looked at by the Brock training staff is Jordan Nelson. So a bit of a mash unit right now. Some of the players getting hit, and it looks like he'll be on the bike for the time being to get himself back in warm-up stage here with 6:44 left in this first half.
Might have been a bit of a Charlie horse, too.
Open 3. Nylon going in this time. Tesfa Georges is a 34% three-point shooter. The Calgary Alberta native hitting that one from distance, up by 11. Timeout called. 6:34 left in this first half. The Vikes look supreme against the Badgers, look a little bit more good. Stay tuned here on the 2024 U Sports Men's National, presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
Visit the official Final 8 store and get your hands on one of the t-shirts especially made for this even more Rougeau-themed merchandise. A must-see at the entrance of Texas.
Baron is proud to be the official championship and celebratory ring supplier to U Sports. From the championship team ring, sports MVPs, U Sports Top 8 Academy All-Canadian and Atlas of the Year. Baron helps celebrate the accomplishment of our student athletes. Baron Rings Championships is what we do. Baron répond officiellement le championnat de sport.
Welcome back here. Greg Campbell, Mo Khan on Saturday afternoon. This is the second game of 4. And we're flying by right now, partner. It's a 30-19 lead, and it's been absolutely silky smooth for the Vikes and how they've been able to operate. And their heat map, their shot making has been well away from the net so far today.
Well, they're finding their stroke from the mark there for the land beyond. 6 of 16, 38%. A big reason why Diego Mafia averages a hair under 27 a game. He's already at 10, 3 of 7 from that same spot. Once one of them gets going, especially Mafia, you start seeing other guys like Tesfa Georges, Ralph and company contributing as well.
Bodioso with it. Now he's got McKenna on the pick. He goes to the near side. Ellis off the hands, right back to Bogue. And here is Mafia the way he's got Robs to his left. Ronaldo Robson with the left, and that was deflected away by Hackett, and there's a crash by Schmid on the ground, and now stop play, 6:12 left.
And Schmid will get called by the hold there in transition. we're reading this correctly, or are they going to switch the call the other way?
Schmid, who's going to perhaps get the call in his favor. He looks like he's the victim in this situation. They are conversing about it right now. A two-way conspiracy with two referees on court. And now the verdict says this will be on Brock. So free throws here for Schmid, who this season 69% from the free throw line. Duncan, BC, Ethan Schmid. And now at the line for this attempt here for the Vikes.
I mean, the sophomore is just, he's active around the glass at the end of the day on both ends of the court. He led the team with 26 blocks during the regular season. You see how often he is just tipping around there at any chance on the second chance opportunity for them.
Shaden Smith. You talk about a man who had 14 against McEwen. He had an effective game against Laval, albeit in a losing cause. And this will be Vikes ball, as they have a chance here to really give themselves a bigger gloss of a lead with Robson on the side out.
You got to see how, you know, prideful this team is. Third straight year with 17+ victories and fall short in the first game.
Mafia, rebound, Schmid, whistle, and this will be a foul on Brock. And now for the Brock Badgers partner, they have put the Vikes in the bonus the rest of the quarter.
Yeah, that's a long time to say the least. I mean, 362 seconds to be exact, but again, spot on the money. Schmid right there, right time, right place. As he adjusts himself there, he'll go back to the line for two more. He's got 4 points yet, or sort of 4 rebounds yet, no points to his name.
Shaden Schmid. And I would have to imagine, speaking to someone in the crowd just before, in between games of number 1 to number 2, Greg, they asked, what do you think about next year? Because Can West will host, so UBC gets the automatic bid. And I said that there could be 2 spots up for grabs. There could be 3 going from Can West to next year's events.
I mean, you're not wrong. Between UBC that looks to run it back here, Mafia should have another year of eligibility. The Westmen are in contention as well. Calgary's not going to be happy with what happened to them, falling short to the Westmen in the Can West semifinals. So, I mean, there's a handful of teams there that are kind of picking and prying for those 2 spots potentially.
And now trying to pick it apart. Here's Robinson, the Montreal native. Salut, bonjour, and now they're up by a score of 35-19.
Good shot, great shot, excellent finish. Again, just unselfish basketball there, and they're rewarded.
Hackett slashing. Schmid fouled.
It's unfortunate because Mafia did a great job getting out to the wing there initially and then forcing that to the pocket corner, but just not staying extended properly at the end of the day, and they'll cue a substitution in the freshman, Thierry Tishibola, for the Badgers.
Thierry Tishibola in the game. He's from Quebec City, so he's enjoying his time back in his hometown.
A little home-cooked meal, I would hope.
I hope so. I'm not sure if he can get that in Brock if his family's out here. But I will say this, I'm a uniform nerd guy. I'm an aesthetics guy when it comes to uniforms. I love the Victoria Vikings uniforms. They're nice, clean, crisp. But those gold numbers, man, they can be tough to read sometimes.
I mean, the benefit for us, I'll say on the other side, is at least we're not outdoors for football where we've got to start playing with shadows and that when it gets thrown into the corner.
Or when the light hits the number at that angle, and now Robson got that ball put away by Ellis. Now he's back on possession, 10 left in the shot clock. Switch of play, back out. Here's the 3, and that's off the heel. Rebound, Schmid over the top.
Again, he's constantly in there, and he's timing his jumps perfectly at the end there. Mafia a little offset there as he's fading away towards the baseline on that 3-point shot, but he has a nose for being around the basket at the right time, and there's going to be another substitution. Griffin Arnett, the freshman, back into the game. He's going to check out Tesfa Georges.
Yeah, Guessman off right now. And you look at Schmid so far, he's been a pogo stick right now in terms of swallowing all those rebounds in favor of the Vikes. And they're up by a score of 36-21, the biggest lead so far. And for the Brock Badgers, they are not injured. They're hurt right now with how they've been playing so far in this tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, they're being outscored 14-7 now here in this second quarter. But you're asking for a tall task for a team to play what was one of the favorites coming in on a makeup game where they got upset.
Hackett, watched by Mafia. Here's Shabola. The 4-star back out to Hackett wearing the number 3 uniform. 3 left in the shot clock. Nowhere to go. Cul-de-sac. And Hackett threw up a prayer, and it goes right back to Robinson the other way. The Vikes have numbers, and now they'll slow it down. as Ellis will take away the supply line from Robinson. Robinson help along the way, switch of play from the 45. Front rim, rebound, Schmid lost it back over to Ellis, and now here he comes in a 2-on-2. Kick out, transition 3 for Hackett. He will attack instead, into the paint, and in for the 2, and that is an easy 2 coming for Ngandu.
And Victoria had 2 guys there, both standing tall. Schmid and Mafia went up and got bit on the fakes there. Good convert.
Schmid in the eye of the storm. Corner pocket 3. And that does not go through. Another 14 for Ronaldo Robinson and the Vikes as they want to get this secured going to halftime, up by 14. Robinson dancing. 5 left in the shot clock. Near side 3. And that rims out. Schmid pops it up right into the hands of the Badgers. And again, can the Brock Badgers convert on miscues from the Vikes? And ooh, Robinson almost got that going in favor of him as him and Hackett got a little tete-a-tete over there.
Yeah, that was almost a turnover, and they're one of the worst when it comes to that in that category. 16.5 average on the season for the Badgers, who finished the regular season 11-11, 4th in the OUA Central in their 3-division format. But they need to do a good job of taking care of the ball, especially against a team like this. I mean, so far they've had 7 turnovers. Luckily for them, it's only resulted in 6 points for the Vikes.
Shabola, the future point guard of this Brock Badger team. And now it is Ngandu trying to work their way into the paint. Tough play, better finish courtesy of Sarkonovic as he gets another 2 points to his name. They're down by 12.
And Mafia didn't like that at the end of the day because he tried to go for the backside swipe with the right straight jab, we'll call it there. He couldn't get it.
Bogue out there for the Vikes, and here is Bogue on the lower block against McKenna. Bogue using his deltoids. Bogue from Victoria, BC. The hook shot is short over McKenna, the Kingston, Ontario native. The reload, and they are devastating from 3-point range. Courtesy Izzy Hellman, who's a 23% three-point shooting artist this year for the Vikes.
Yeah, it's in rhythm is the problem. These shots are not ones that are often contested.
McKenna on the spin, McKenna on the pirouette, McKenna in for 2, and now they're down by 13.
He displaces the younger man on the block there as well. At the end of the day, got him shifting and then displaced him on the second move. You'll see the horns look here. Which one slips, which one stays. They're
trapping, and Mafia's slithering right through. Hellman off the side of the backboard, and a reload again. 5 left in the shot clock. Here's another lunge. Miss, rebound Shabola. And the Badgers back up with 2 left, trying to get themselves back closer. And Shabola showing the soft, deft touch on that finish. Timeout call, 1:59 left. 40-27 lead. The Vikes are up by 13. Could they hold on to this lead going towards the second half? We'll find out here in the final 1:59. Stay tuned.
The women's final 8 is currently taking place at University of Laval University. The Rouge et Or women's team is participating. Thursday night, they won their first game. Ils ont gagné le premier match jeudi soir dernier. Et elles seront à nouveau en action ce soir, 20h. Donc, they will be in a game tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ça veut dire à peu près le même temps. Le même moment que le match que nous on a réussi avec le Rouge et Or, soyez-en sûrs, on suivra le match non seulement pour vous, mais avec vous. On retourne sur le terrain, mesdames, messieurs. Bon après-midi.
Welcome back. Don't forget, for those who love their hockey, and there's many who do love their hockey, the 2024 University Cup Men's Hockey Championship returns to Toronto for the first time in a quarter century, March 14th to 17th at the Mattamy home ice located within the historic walls of Maple Leaf Gardens. Single game tickets start at $23. Click the QR code at the bottom of your screen or visit Ticketmaster.ca to order your tickets. The 2024 University Cup, hosted by Toronto Metropolitan University, Chase the Glory. And right now the Vikes have been all glory in this first half. It has been the team that has played very well against the Brock Badgers.
Well, just a side note there, partner. I mean, that arena has been busy this year, to say the least, with the PWHL being played there as well in the Revival.
Montreal and Toronto had a very epic game yesterday, a very physical game, spicy.
I like it, though. That's the thing. You want those rivalries built over time, and you see the Badgers going to drop into almost like a diamond-like formation in terms of the full court press here. It's a 1-2-2 by nature, but you'll see them sink into the middle here.
And that's what they do. Well predicted by you, Mr. Campbell.
I may have played basketball a time or two in my life.
Perhaps. And now here's a chance. The three, no, they go for option B. Helmets. Bogue on the end line, and unfortunately that ball went out of bounds as he was altered by Ngandu on that play with 144 left.
He is a little aggressive for his own good in terms of the swing there, knocked him out of bounds there, and a rare turnover here for the Vikes. But I mean, 11-point differential is a good first half here for the Badgers, considering what a first quarter they had.
Hackett trying to dance against Hellman. Coming through, Sarkonovich looking for options. He goes back out, and now here he is back with it. 5 left in the shot clock from the elbow. And the rebound right back to Pereira, and here come the Vikes with 1:18 left.
That's just such a low crossover, and then the launch point even harder there as they go into the matchup man-to-man here.
Here's a three. Splash! Going in for the Vikes, up by a score of 43-29, and Mafia has been absolutely starburst today on this Saturday afternoon.
9 3-pointers as a team, 4 of 12 Mafia. He's got 13 to lead all scores, the only player in double figures, but doesn't matter how he misses, he'll continue to take his looks.
Hackett from the near side, and he hits the three to get it down to a 43-32 lead. And you talk about Hackett, this young man from Brampton, Ontario, showing his regal quality on that play.
Yeah, second 3-pointer for him. He's got a team high 8 now, Bodioso at 5.
From the corner, missed by Bogue and recovered by Sarkonovich. Now here he comes, 28 seconds left in this first half of play. Sarkonovich in, stopping, popping, back heel, rebound, Vikes, 21 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, it'll be Mafia to close things out here in a first half in which they outscored him by 9 in the first Q, and then they've outscored him by 2 here, 2018 in the second quarter.
Now the Vikes will play for the last roll of the dice here in this first half of action. Mafia, and the three is no good. And that's missed by Buteau, I beg your pardon. Sammy Buteau in the game for the first time as he looked for the moment of glory, and he ends up coming up with nothing.
It's disappointing there's no foul call there, but that's his patented move and his best spot as well. So good job staying in front on that play defensively, and all things considered, I would say that's a win for the Brock Badgers, considering how many 3-pointers they've allowed, 9 to be exact here in the first half.
Halftime is here, 43-31 lead. Victoria up on Brock. You're watching the 2024 U Sports Men's National Final 8, presented by Green Shield and also by Michelob Light on CBC Sports. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Welcome back here to St. Foy, Quebec. Greg Campbell, Mo Con on this Saturday afternoon at halftime. The Victoria Vikes up by a score of 43-31 over the Brock Badgers in a battle of the Can West against OUA. And we look at these highlights here coming up. I think the simple route one is 3-point offense here for the Victoria Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, it's their staple during the regular season in terms of makes and in terms of attempts, and the Badgers just have to roll with the counters, and they got to go back to work in the inside. It's where they did the bulk of their scoring yesterday, outscoring Dalhousie 2-1 in that area, 36-18. But you see the whip pass there by Mafia, who walks away too, as his Hellman makes a three there. But it starts and ends with Diego Mafia at the end of the day. Spectacular first half. I mean, he's 4 of 14 from the field, but he's got 13 points, 4 assists, and he's just got his hands on the ball, and he's ever so dangerous anytime he touches it. The other key thing is when they have been missing, Schmidt has been on the money in terms of second chance opportunities, but this is where they're most dangerous. When he is out running and gunning and he's feeling it, there's not a lot you can do in that situation. It's the Curry effect, I call it. This kid will shoot wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Doesn't matter how many times he misses. He's a volume shooter, and they will live with the three-point shots he takes.
They were ruthless, they were clinical, and now they have Brock chasing this game down by a score of 43-31 at halftime. And the Badgers have it to do now in the second half if they want to extend their stay in Quebec City by one more day for the 5th place chance to play UQAM tomorrow afternoon at 12 noon here from St. Foy, Quebec. Well, you know, every year there's awards, and these awards mean a lot to these individuals that we have. And every year, U Sports presents a series of major honors to the top student athletes in each sport. Here are the nominees and winners of the 2024 U Sports Basketball Community Service Award and the 2024 U Sports Player of the Year Award coming up next.
The nominees for the Ken Shields Award for Excellence in Basketball, Academics and Community Involvement are les candidats pour le prix Ken Shields pour l'excellence dans le basketball, les études et l'engagement communautaire sont des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Mitchell Mercereau, Cape Breton University, Université du Cap-Breton, du Réseau du sport étudiant du Québec from the RCQ, Harris Elezovic, Université Laval University, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Tayson Graham, Nipissing University, Université de Nipissing, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Alexander Dewar, University of Saskatchewan, Université de la Saskatchewan. Le lauréat du prix Ken Shields pour l'engagement communautaire est, the winner of the Ken Shields Award for Community Service is Alexander Dewar, University of Saskatchewan, Université de la Saskatchewan. The nominees for the Mike Moser Memorial Trophy as the U Sports Outstanding Men's Basketball Player of the Year are en nomination pour le trophée commémoratif Mike Moser présenté à l'athlète de l'année U Sport en basketball masculin des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Malcolm Christie, Université Dalhousie University, du Réseau du sport étudiant du Québec from the RSEQ, Kevin Civil, Université du Québec à Montréal, University of Quebec in Montreal, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Callum Baker, University of Toronto, Université de Toronto, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Diego Mafia, University of Victoria, Université de Victoria. Le lauréat du trophée commémoratif décerné aux joueurs de l'année en basketball masculin U Sport est the winner of the Mike Moser Memorial Trophy as the U Sports Player of the Year in men's basketball is Diego Mafia, University of Victoria, Université de Victoria.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Welcome back here halftime. Victoria against Brock in Consolation number 2 here from Laval, Quebec on Saturday afternoon. Look at these halftime stats. Almost even. In fact, Brock shot the ball better than Victoria did at 38 to 36%. And you look at the three-point numbers, again, almost even. But yet, it's the Victoria Vikings who are up by 12.
Well, I mean, it's the volume that matters at the end of the day. If you take away 2-point shots, the Vikes are 4 points off the lead, 31-27 in terms of how they're scoring. So different looking first half for both teams. I mean, for Brock, it's a win in the sense of compared to yesterday, you had 13 total points in the first half. And then you look at the Vikes yesterday, they were down 36-32 to the host Laval Rouge-et-Or. So 9 three-pointers in the first half. That's more than they made all game yesterday in quarterfinal number 4 or 3. My apologies.
Whatever
where they had
it is.
Yeah,
It's a
quarterfinal
number.
number 3. It was the 6 o'clock game. My memory's still there, partner. But I mean, that's the story at this time presented by Wilson. I mean, it's the three-point shot at the end of the day. They've been effective in transition, and then, as I mentioned, they've been money around the boards in terms of Smith and company, giving them those second chance opportunities. So Brock, the formula is go back to work in the block, slow the game down, and then you got to stop them in transition, the Vikes the other way, and somehow get someone other than Diego Mafia to beat you, which is a tall task for anyone. Laval did it yesterday, but it's hard to repeat that twice against this guy.
Coming up next will be second half action. Victoria and Brock, who will punch their ticket for the 5th place game against UQAM? We'll find out here from CBC Sports Your home of the 2024 U Sports Men's National Championship presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light.
Choose the glory during the U Sports National Championships from coast to coast. Follow at U Sports CC on X and Instagram for the latest updates. Visez les 21 championnats canadiens du sport à travers le pays. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux X et Instagram à usport.ca.
Welcome back here to St. Foy, Quebec. It's been bright and beautiful for the UVic Vikes. They've been browsing for threes, and they've been absolutely flamethrowers from long range so far against the Brock Badgers. The key for Brock to get back into this game. They're down by 12. You mentioned before halftime, a much better effort compared to where they were about 24 hours ago.
I mean, I don't know what else you can do but go up after yesterday's first half debacle against Dalhousie, where you had 13 total points. But Hackett leads the Badgers with 7. Mafia leads all scores with 13. It's going to have to be a slow, grinded-out game if the Badgers want to book a ticket to Sunday.
And here's Mafia using his Victoria trickery and magic. And Ralph can I hit the three and up in the air. And good news for Chuente, he's back in the game. He's on 3 personal fouls, so will Victoria look to ID him to kind of get him into a 4th foul issue.
Well, the issue is when he's drawing those fouls, it's underneath the block there. And, I mean, a guy like Schmidt who's active around the glass, it's going to be tough to corral him. So just got to be smart about the takes you have, and he's going to work against the younger Ralph here.
Chuente lowering himself down low. Around the protractor it comes. Budioso from the center arc. And that is in for the triple, courtesy of Kevon Ellis, shooting 36% from the Steel City of Hamilton, Ontario.
They're 30% in the first half, and now they're 4 of 11 in this contest. You see Mafia going to set a screen. Eventually, they want to free him up here.
Ralph, the jumper, that lacked the ingenuity, and this will go back, and it remains a UVic ball with 9:03 left in this opening half of the quarter.
And Elias Ralph is their secondary scorer when it comes to Diego Mafia, drawing all the tension, but he's now 1 of 6, only 3 points in the first half, 4 rebounds, including 0 of 4 for the Lamb Beyond.
Ronaldo Robson. And somehow Gassman stuck out his hand in hopes of defending the outlet pass, and he got his hands on that.
It's like when the defender gets beat in football, and then he's just throwing that back shoulder pass there. He's just able to stick it in there without drawing the contact.
And Schmid cannot get the contact in his favor. Recovered by Ralph, and he goes up, and he's getting the 2, and they're now up by a score of 45-34.
I mean, there's at least 2 meters he cleared on that jump there in terms of the vertical. I mean, he's stretching the floor that way, so good looking take by Elias Ralph.
Chuente, whistle, foul, and this will go against UVic.
Ralph displaces him as he's going into lane there. He's trying to kick it across the pond there. And a good looking take there as it is intended for Budioso, who will go down to the baseline to inbound here.
And it's been the end line here with 8:36 left in this quarter of play. There will be Budioso and a cue of about 8 inside the edge of the paint. And now it is Chuente lowering himself in the post. Back over to Budioso. Ellis. denied by Schmid. Sent back to Southern Ontario. 3 left in the shot clock. Hackett, and that was completely disjointed on the possession from Brock, and it goes back over to the Vikes with some Centurion-like quality defending.
Well, look at Schmid just climbing up there, waiting for that. As you see here, they'll go to the crossover and then the extension on that left hand at the end. It's something we've seen all year, and we've seen it in this tournament especially. They will not allow you to extend that elbow. That chicken wing concept, you're allowed, but as soon as you want to extend that forearm, it's been a consistent call since opening tip-off here.
Ralph, and he got rejected by the backboard, and this will go back out of play, back to Brock with 8:06 left in this quarter play.
What do you think hurts more, being rejected by the backboard or by another person?
I think the side of the backboard is not the most sterling moment in anyone's career, male or female. And Chuente will defer it over to Kevon Ellis. And for the Brock Badgers, they have to start getting themselves out of red ink. They're down by 11.
So they go to horns, 1 high, 1 low. Chuente ends up with it.
And here is Budioso.
Good job by Schmid fronting there, denying the entry pass.
And the shot was lacking, and this is last touch by Mafia. This will go back over to the Badgers, new 14, 7:44 left.
And they're trying to establish that high-low look on the inside there, but again, it's just Schmid active footwork, protecting the rim paint area. You can call it what you will. And it's just, they keep looking to that as their first look, and then it discombobulates the set.
Ellis missing the 3. Rebound. Gessman, the German, cannot finish that one. Up in the air, Schmid as he alleviates the stress. And now here's Mafia the other way.
And our missed 3-pointer for the Badgers as well.
And now a 6-point swing. Mafia, ice cool veins, permanent class on that 3.
10th of the game, now 16 points. He's 5 of 14 from the mark.
And they're up by 14. Budioso. This game is not slipping away yet, but the Vikes have their tails up and they're hunting and hounding. And that is another missed shot. A rebound for Ellis, new 14, back out to Chuente against Ralph. Underneath, and Mafia looked like he was hungry for that ball, and this remains with Brock.
Yeah, he cut across the route perfectly there, just couldn't keep his mitts tied together in terms of holding on to that ball at the very end. He's very actively defensively trying to hedge his bets in terms of those routes, but I just want you to continue to watch that area in terms of how much work Schmid does to prevent those post-entry passes.
Budioso, he will find Hackett with it. 4 left in the shot clock. Hackett on the spin. Hackett denied by Schmid. 2-on-1. Robinson coming up fast and furious. No good on that play.
Yeah, Mafia's not liking it because he was open on the wing side in transition.
Here's the transition 3, and Hackett comes back with a monster finish on that. They're down by 11.
Yeah, it's just a jump at the end of the day to try and throw him off in some way. Tesfa Georges doesn't go.
A quick hands from Hackett. He's showing a lot of guile right now, and this is a whistle and a foul. Mafia and Hackett colliding. And this time, number 3 will be called for the foul.
Yeah, it's tough because if you don't beat that guy on that first step in terms of the direction, he's so emphatic with his crossover back between the legs the other direction that if you want to overstep in one situation, you might end up on the floor the other way. And if you do read correctly, usually he's got an inside track with his hip leverage.
Robson inbounder. Here's Schmid. And here is Tesfa Georges. Mafia. Hackett swinging that pass back out to Ralph. 6 left in the shot clock. The fade. And the miss, the rebound, right back over to Nelson.
Good box out on Robinson there. They come the other way.
Nelson, and he tried to be ambitious on that play, and this will be Brock possession in terms of the contact right there with 6:08 left in this third quarter.
He's lucky to get called for the offensive there when he leaned in at the end of the play, and it'll be Vikes' ball as you see him run into the lane here against Tesfa Georges. And again, the extension, not a lot, but good job by Tesfa Georges, just staying vertical, riding him along the side there. We'll go to the soft full court press, trying to stall Mafia, but there's not a lot to do to stop this guy. He reads doubles well, he gets the ball out in a hurry, and with a sense of purpose.
And now a whip pass again for the near side, and that's missed completely by Hellman, and now it is over to Kevon Ellis. He's got Hackett to his right, now to the left. Transition 3, And that rims out again for the Badgers. They've had some good looks, but no finish yet.
I mean, how many guys can start on the opposite wing and then throw it into the pocket corner with that kind of accuracy?
And behind the back he goes, and you start to see the trickery and magic, the bag of tricks that Diego Mafia has as a passer with 5:30 left here in this third quarter play. And it is going back to Chuente. It is Ellis, it is Hackett, stopping, popping, finding the German and Guessman, who scored 3 a game for the Badgers. And for Guessman, no action in the finals against Queens, has missed most of the season for Brock this year.
Good slip on the inside, finds them for 2. They're now winning the quarter 8-5, and off the shot here as he cans it there on the 3. I was going to say they've dipped to 34% now, go back up on the 11th made 3-pointer.
And now the quarter's even at 8-8, and that is a big 3, 51-39. And talk about the psychological edge of being down by 9, if not 12, and that is a big edge here for the Vikes. And but with it is Chuente. And Chuente going strong, and he just posterized Smith.
That might be play of the tournament there. That might just be the play of the tournament. We thought the dunk in the last game was big. I mean, that was a full-out, we'll call it hello, to say the least, is the way to put it, as he meets them at the rim for some more. Saturday night dancing, I mean, it's a little early, but splits 2, and then Schmidt, you want to give me a chance? No, thank you. Have some stuffing and more.
I hope the production team gets this as a highlight package for their highlight reels, because you're absolutely right. 51-41 lead, a monstrous play. Stay tuned here. You're watching the 2024 U Sports Men's Final 8, presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
Welcome back. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Sunday night, the final game of the men's season is the 6 p.m. gold medal game on CBC Sports. TV Sport will have it on the internet for Radio-Canada, and tip-off will be at 6 p.m. We don't know who the 2 finalists will be. We'll find out in about 6 hours' time. Will it be Queens? Will it be Ottawa? Will it be Laval or Dalhousie? We'll have our 2 finalists determined in about by the end of the business day of this event.
Well, we do know there'll be a rep from Ontario. We do know the 2 teams will be from the east of Canada in general.
And what we do know, it will be a first-time winner.
That's the most exciting part, I think.
Actually, I was working in my during the warm-ups this morning, and that is a miss, and that is a recovery off the miss from Ralph. I was working on my conclusion line for some of the teams. So already looking ahead here, and now the 3s miss, and rebounded by Pereira. So I was working on my conclusion lines of if this team won, this would be the line I use. If this team won, this would be the line I would use. Find out tomorrow what it is, 6 p.m. And now it is Brock with it the other way.
Are any of them plug in place in terms of the line, but just a changing of the team?
I tease it. No, it's different lines. So I'm going to tease it for those. So whoever makes it to the finals, you'll never know what I said about the teams that don't make it to the gold medal game. But I do have 2 of the 4 done. I'll have the other 2 done by tomorrow.
Do you have what happens for the flip side of the argument? Because there has to be a loser at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we're looking at the glory now. I'm a winner. We go with winners.
You know, the best action in terms of photography, I'll say from having done it for so many years, is the championship celebration photos are great when you win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd argue the disappointment you see on the opposite sideline sometimes tells the greater picture in some of those moments.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow night. We still have 2 more to go, which we'll have here 6 and 8 p.m. tonight.
Oh man, this building is going to be, I mean, it's filled in nicely here for the afternoon sessions, but I mean, I want to see how many people from the Laval game at 8 p.m. are going to show up for that 6 o'clock game as well. I mean, we had troubles hearing ourselves in that quarterfinal 3 yesterday at 6. Yeah, I might have to stand a little closer to your partner for the next one.
Yeah, and here's an interception. Mafia, one man to beat, and he can't finish that one. Pereira right there for the cleanup. Mafia on the spin, on the hurdle, and that went over. Unfortunately for Mafia, he got hit in the head by Jordan Nelson unintentionally. And one thing that was impressive by Jordan Nelson, he's got the hops, the jump really over Mafia.
I mean, he gets hit, but look, he wants that call earlier, and then, you know, on the pump fake here, that's actually a really good clear, and yeah, he grabs his head and there's contact, and that will obviously be called, but good vertical. Whatever they're doing in St. Catharines there,
it's better than Jalen Brown's vertical in that dunk competition from 2 weeks ago. Ooh. And that had too much spice in the pass from Pereira from Mafia, and he knows it. And up by 10, 3:29 left here. So right now, they're playing with fire because this team is full of fire in UVic, and if Brock can't get this to single digits, this is really going to be a tenuous situation going towards the fourth quarter, and Chuente can't finish that one.
I mean, the thing is, you're down 10, but it feels like a different kind of 10 when you know the lethal three-point ability of this team on the other side. I mean, they're 11 of 34, 32%. Now, in the season, as mentioned before, they shoot 35% from that mark. So, I don't know, psychologically, it feels different because you know, and they've already experienced this a couple of times, they hit you in bombs. But the key here now, Ronaldo Robinson loves playing a little one-on-one. Can you contain the other guys, even though Mafia is cooking here?
Robinson is fouled by Guessman, and with 2:59 left here. And lethal weapon is Diego Mafia, and he's led the charge of threes, and they're up by 10. And no matter how they do now, UVic, if they finish in 5th, 6th, or maybe not in this game tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I beg your pardon, that's going to be a long flight for them because many thought they would have been in that discussion that we're having about the Final Four tonight at 6 and 8 p.m.
Well, and Craig Beaucamp said it to me yesterday before their quarterfinal loss, which many did not predict, but that doesn't matter who you play at the end of the day. Everyone's 0-0 coming into this tournament, and it's been true as Robinson goes flush from the line there for 2. He's got 5 points now after having 16 in yesterday's quarterfinal loss.
Yeah, that's a long flight. It's about 5.5, 6 hours from Quebec City to Victoria, I would imagine. So they'll have a lot to think about and contemplate. Here's Chabola trying to contemplate his way through, and he is too strong in that one. Rebounded by Hellman, back out to Robinson the other way. Robinson the spin. On the byline. Kick out. Ralph. Here's the 3. Splash going in this time for Griffin Arnott, who's a 45% three-point shooter. The Victoria native brings it up to 15.
Yeah, he's 2 of 3 in this game now, and they hold a 3-point advantage in this third quarter, 30-10 in a turnover, more points coming.
Here are the White Arrows. Hellman, put back, no good. Rebound, Robson, they keep possession with 16 left in the shot clock.
That's outstanding that they were 4-on-1 and they couldn't get a layup in that situation.
Intercepted by Bodioso, and here he comes. He got 3-on-2, transition. Ellis, Chabola's got space. Finding the open space is Chuente. Bodioso, back heel, rebound, new 14 from Guessman. And now the 3 from Chuente. And rebound, no good. 0 for 3, 0 for 4, whistle the play. And that would have been a backbreaker if Brock came up with nothing.
And Pereira is unfortunately the culprit in that situation, but boxed him out correctly, but then Guessman just, you know, where the ball trajectory ended up, he had the inside-outside track technically because it ended up outside the reach of that of the Vikes and Pereira in that situation. But you see how low they're going to get with the hip action here. The officials warning them beforehand, but they'll go back to the hand checking and the hip rotation here.
As you see now to our lower right, the Ottawa Gigis are in town. The Queens Gales have arrived, and they're now locking into their game as they'll have about an hour or so, depending on how this game ends, to get ready for their 6 p.m. matchup here on CBC Sports. Bodioso. Back in, McKenna. Bodioso's 3. He overcooked that shot, back out to Robinson.
Well, it's the matchup everyone thought that could happen in the Wilson Cup that didn't.
And Robinson makes that happen, and now they're up by a score of 58-41. They're starting to run riot on the Badgers.
I mean, him and Elias Farrell for a combined 6 of 21 yesterday. Much more efficient effort by Ronaldo Robinson this afternoon.
McKenna. Here is Ellis. Twisting, turning, looking, waiting, and that is repelled by Robson, who has a real keen, a real high IQ to read the play and take away the passing lanes.
Well, he wanted to jump the route there and intended into the corner, but Ronaldo Robinson 2 of 4 in this game, 7 points, 4 rebounds. Mafia leads all scorers still at 19. Hackett's got 10 for the Badgers.
McKenna.
Tight margins there, turnover.
And now Robson has a chance for a poster. The layup is no good. Pereira, and we go back the other way.
Wow. So that's 2 straight opportunities. And yes, it is a 17-point game, but they had 4-on-1 the previous time they're out running and gunning. And then you see this time Robinson goes for the right idea, which is the layup, and then the push off by Pereira to displace the Badgers and Borioso underneath the rim. And that's just a turnover you don't want in that scenario.
Borioso with it. It was in the final 45 ticks of this third quarter play.
They're good to stay with their man-to-man. They've been winning the matchups all afternoon.
McKenna from Kingston, Ontario. Guessman losing that to Pereira, and now here come the Vikes the other way. Pereira looking like a sleek ball handler out there. Robson, he's a little bit sleeker. Here is a 3. Much sleeker coming in from Ralph as he gets another 3 going their way.
He is over 5 until that. Now he's up to 8 points to be the second leader scorer on this team. They'll go back to that full court man-to-man, and they are not letting down. They've won the quarter 18-10 so far.
I believe it was 8-5, right, at one point, and now they've gone on that run.
They just hit you on those droves, and that's what they didn't get yesterday against Laval. We were wondering when they were going to pop off, and it's been consistent through 3 quarters here in a 20-point advantage.
Last action for Borioso. The 3. Missing that. Hackett. Got it. And at the end of 3, it is Victoria 61. Brock 43 from Saint Foy, Quebec. This is the 2024 U Sports Men's Nationals Final 8, presented by Green Shield and Michelob Light on CBC Sports. Stay tuned.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back here as we get ready for fourth quarter action. And for Brock, it's no longer a hill, but a mountain to climb against the Victoria Vikings. As you see, a much more relaxed and more content Viking team compared to where they were 24 hours ago, where the pressure, unfortunately, did not help, and they lost that game to Laval.
Well, they're in rhythm today. I mean, you're going up a guy against Diego Mafia, who's lethal as they come. You're coming against the current Can West Coach of the Year, who's now got 6 to his name, and in 21 seasons, he's had his team 3 times a Can West champion. But their best finish was in 4th place when it came at the national stage. So a little disappointing for them, but as you mentioned, just more relaxed body nature. They're in control. They're playing their style game, their pace consistently, and they have a lot of fun when they do it.
Growing ingenious are the Vikes in this game against Brock. McKenna. And that ball was rolled back to St. Catharines, Ontario, and that will go back over to the Vikes with 9:40 left in this game. And it's been lung-bursting moments here for the Vikes in this matchup. They've had the neat and tidy three-point shots, and that's the reason why they're up by the current score of 18.
And you see them going to play a 1-2-2 zone defense. They'll jump back into 3-2 high zone to take away those three-point looks, and they'll go match up here.
Schmid and Tesfa Georges back in the game. Here's a three. And that is a miss. Hackett skying up there for the rebound, and now he will bring it back up court. As Hackett looks for options, he's got McKenna from the 45, and he misses that. And that was almost a miscue with the two Vikes.
It's got to be a perfect quarter from the Badgers, offensively and defensively. They literally have to win it minute by minute here to get back into this game.
Well, the margin of error is really closing down on them, and Ralph missing that. Schmid knocked over. And for Shaden Schmid, the highlight might be him being dunked on. I'm sorry to the Schmid family who might be watching right now in Victoria, BC, Duncan, BC, I beg your pardon. Wrong place, wrong time on that dunk from Chuente.
I mean, it's a Kodiak moment, and I'm sure it'll be in the highlight reel for promoting this tournament moving forward next year at UBC and the campaign that is here.
And you know the UBC social media team would have to have a little cheeky move by putting that dunk in there, right? That's the rivalry with them and UVic.
Exactly why I said that, partner.
Yeah, that might be
marketing 101, right?
Of course. And here's the three. And Ralph overcooked that shot. Too much depth on that play. And if they use my vocals for that highlight, do I get a royalty for that or no?
I mean, I don't know how big a royalty you get, but you can try and claim it there.
And Schmid rejecting the shot coming in from Bodioso, and this will be a foul instead.
There's tax season coming up, so I mean, you could say that's part of your profits from last year.
I could.
Well, next year.
Yeah, next year we'll be claiming the taxes over there. But you look at it now from this particular angle for UVic. They have been supplying three-point shots. It's been promising for them. They've been a poacher along the way here. It's been forceful, purposeful at times in how they've been. And really, it's something for them to build now towards next year. They want to finish top 5. There's no question about that, partner. But they want to build to get back to UBC and be in that Final Four and maybe be in the national title game next March.
Well, first is consistency. They've done it. It's their 3rd straight appearance at the U Sports Final 8. I think they're just sick of not playing in the medal games at this point. I mean, they finished 6th overall in 21-22, 4th last year. Now a chance pending a ultimate collapse here in the 4th quarter to play for 5th place.
And the free throw going in now for Budioso, and this will now be a chance, maybe of a run here, down by 16.
And they're also the first team to win 3 straight in the Can West since 78-84, when that team won 7 straight conference titles.
Hackett, a heart and mouth moment. His blushes will not be spared on that breakaway. And now the transition 3, missed by the Vikes.
Ralph got bumped around too there. There was a no call.
Chuente, Hackett from the flats, and that rims out. So he misses on 5 potential points that could have brought this down to 11.
2 of 6 from the land beyond now, 12 points, but he's had that look all afternoon.
Mafia, open, test for Georges. Rebound right back to Hackett. And he's a good-looking player here, Devontae Hackett. He's got great potential for this Brock team for next year.
Well, something they want to build on. Again, no one picked them to be in this position, but they made the tournament.
Jumper, it's good. Coming in from Budioso, and that will stop clock with 7:32 left. Timeout called on the court, and now it's creeping a little bit closer here. UVic up by a score of 61-47. You're watching the 2024 U Sports Men's Final 8, courtesy of Green Shield, brought to you by Michelob Light on CBC Sports.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories, CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hi, I'm here for my 3:30 with a Mr. Greer.
Of course, we've confirmed coverage. The patient will be right with you. Dr. Patel, the patient will see you now.
Health coverage should put you first. Only Green Shield combines your health care and benefits coverage all in one place. Green Shield, better health for all.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
So here's the bracket now for the Final Four. Laval, Dalhousie, Queens, and we got Ottawa. We'll get the first all-Eastern Ontario matchup. We look at the directional area of where these teams are located in Ontario. So we got Queens and we got Ottawa, then Laval and Dal to wrap up the night. That is what you call a four-course meal with these four teams involved.
It's going to be exciting to say the least. I mean, with Queens and that their opponents, I mean, they're expected to face each other beforehand in terms of Ottawa, and then on the other side, I mean, Laval just playing with house money at this point, but you know this building is going to be packed, and again, you can imagine with the Citadin already in the 5th place game tomorrow, what it would mean to Quebec basketball, but also to this province as a whole if they can get into the national title game.
And now Ralph. Here is Tesfa Georges. They'll slow it down. Again, they are in no hurry at all. They are in control of the clock, control of the scoreboard most importantly. And look, at minimum, Quebec will have 2 teams in the top 6 at the end of the day. Depending on what UQAM does and what Laval does, we don't know yet. And for the Ontario Conference, OUA, they'll have 2 in the top 4, which is remarkable. Again, they are the cream of the cream here, the blue bloods of Canadian basketball for the season again.
There's a Ken West. It's a tough pill to swallow with high expectations coming in here at the end of the day.
It reminds me, to use a college football analogy, not to be insulting towards the Ken West, sort of like the Pac-12 of college football, right? A lot of hype, a lot of built up, and then the pin in the balloon just blew up on their face. Unfortunately, Winnipeg and UVic, both excellent teams, just ran into a bad window of half or a moment of glory that they could have had that didn't have.
Yeah, but you look at Oregon, Washington in football this past year, I mean, they might have something to say about it, but the idea is Mafia bang from the spot again. But, I mean, maybe the other ideology or reference there is they just beat the hell out of each other so much in the regular season. It comes to playoff time, you know, they're nursing a lot, and they get to the national stage, they've seen a lot of wear and tear already.
I know it's broken down into smaller subgroups for the Can West divisions, but there's a lot of travel, no matter how you look at it, right? Because you're playing multiple provinces. You know, it stretches from BC to Manitoba, and again, it's just the value of what you have to go through if you're in the Can West. It is a tough meat grinder of a schedule. And then you get to the conference tournament, flip a coin. Again, we go back to what we spoke about yesterday, Greg. UBC thought they were going to be here. They were convinced in a way that, hey, we can run the table as number 4 or 5 seed in that conference, and they got skunked in the first round. And it's any team's opportunity to take this chance.
Well, you look at the format in the regular season. I mean, they double up their games on the weekend because of the travel. So unlike what you can see in the OUA sometimes in the rest here, and maybe out east not as often, but the OUA, you could have a Wednesday night game where it's Brock Mac, and then Brock goes to Queens on the weekend, or Queens comes to Brock, right? But they have this 2-2-1 full court press they're trying to break here. Good execution.
And now here's Ralph, and that get it back courtesy of Hackett, and away comes Bodioso as we're inside 6, down by 14. So they have to get going. Truente, acrobatic, and he is fouled. And now we'll go to the line for 2 free throws coming up.
And we go back to the format, though. So what Ken West has done differently this year compared to years past is they had a 4-day knockout-style tournament. And for the men's side, it was at the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg. So you had 12 teams, 1 neutral site. First 4 teams got to bye. UBC, one of them, they were sluggish in their opening game, as well as the semifinal and the final of that. Like you said, it's just a grinder, and then being asked to play 3 games in 4 days, essentially, turning around a week and a half-ish later.
Well, it builds up that endurance when you come to the Nationals, because you're going to play at least 2, if not 3, in 3 days. And right now, it's a 12-point lead for Vic, and it is Mafia breaking the pressure back out to Robinson. And here's Diego Mafia once again with Budioso on him. A man-to-man look once more for the Badgers.
Look how high they hedge out there on Mafia. He's going to lose the handle here almost.
He nearly lost it. Here's a three. Front rim, rebounded by the Badgers.
That almost went in scarily enough, too.
Brock punched them on this miscue. They were one and done. Spinning. Hackett can't get to it off the miscue from Sarkonovich, and it goes back over to the Vikes.
Well, Robinson with a well-timed double, helping out his teammate in Tesfa Georges there on the spin.
Robinson, Ralph, Mafia, Ralph, near side flats. Rebound, Schmid, no good. Second bite of the cherry, looking for that to get a new 14, and that goes out of bounds off of Schmid. Shane Schmid losing that ball, and it goes back over to the Badgers.
And the German's going to check back into the game here, and about half of a fourth quarter to go here. Substitution as well for the Vikes as Ralph will check out of the game, but just wonder at what point does Brock go on a little 4-0, 6-0 run here, because again, we've seen the Vikes, they just, when they want to, they can explode, and the issue is Brock hasn't had that counter punch run here in the second half to really make them sweat.
And now in the far corner to our left, Budioso being looked at by the training staff. Again, this has been a real taxing game on the body for the Badgers, with a few guys going down, being looked at by the staff. Chuente losing that one, right back to Tesfa Georges.
They have been winning the quarter though, 9-3, so a strong start to the fourth.
Bogue, here is Robinson. Switch of play, Bogue on the end line. Bogue fade away, and he is short. Hackett rebound, and back over to Nelson they go. Jordan Nelson getting some minutes in this game against the stealth-like Vikings. Hackett going to his left. He is triple team. He loses the jump ball, arrow point towards the Vikings, and we go back with 14 left.
And you see the difference in the offensive setup there, where Brock has 2-3 guys lurking around the post, and the Germans lucky didn't get called for three in the paint there, as I counted about 6 or 7 seconds there while they were tied up on the jump ball. But it's a different outlook when you look at your half-court offensive setup, and you'll see the Vikes, they can afford to play 4 out with one in the post in the pick-and-roll situation because they're full of shooters.
And here is Tesfa Georges, and here is the shooter, the lethal shooter of this team, Robson. He will get bigger minutes next year from 17. He hits that shot, and you see that insurance policy being issued by Ronaldo Robson.
Yeah,
he's 14.
He's played a lot of one-on-one games. You could just tell by the way he creates shot separation. He's, outside of Mafia, their best guy at doing that.
Chuente, Hackett, Nelson trying to get around Tesfa Georges, and the jumper is good from 16, and they are still alive, albeit barely, with 3:38 left in this ball game.
And a late close there as the Vikes shooting 32% from the field, and the Badgers now over 35% at this point.
At the logos, Mafia. Will he go to his left? He'll go to his right instead. Tesfa Georges on the near flats. Bogue attacking. Bogue faded away. Bogue, no good. Hackett rebound.
Here's their chance to go on a little bit of a run here.
OKK in the game for the first time by way of John Abbott College in Montreal, Quebec. By Pointe-Claire, Quebec, that is a suburb of the Montreal area. Hackett. Nelson. No, OKK. Short rebound. Right there is Guessman, and now they're down by 12.
Well, Bogue's going to hear it from his coach there. The junior just ball watching instead of boxing out, and it cost them 2.
Looked like a bystander on that play. Robson. OKK trying to take off the ball, attack his pressure points. Robson crossing, looking, jumping, and that's off the mark. Rebounded by Schmid, and back out it comes to Mafia for the dagger. Got it!
15 three-pointer, 33%, 15 of 45 as a team. Mafia just continues to put in work from the land beyond. 7 three-pointers now to the tune of 22 points.
Vic, massive grip on this game. OKK, rebound right back to you, Vic.
25, my apologies on the correction on the scorecard there, and 8 three-pointers.
8, 9, you name it, they've hit them. And now Robson trying to kill off this game, and he does. And Victoria will play UQAM tomorrow afternoon at high noon. UQAM, Victoria will be the 5th place game for Brock. They're on the way to an 0-2 tournament record. Stay tuned here. You're watching the final minutes of this consolation game on the 2024 U Sports Men's National 8, presented by Michelob Light on CBC Sports. Welcome back here. 71-56 game. Victoria on their way to a 5th place date with UQAM tomorrow. And for UVic, the 8-time champions want to end off at a 2-1 record against UQAM as well.
Daygale Mafia, the story of the game, 25 points from Ronaldo Robinson, up to 11 now. And what was a 9-3 quarter lead at one point at the halfway mark for the Badgers. And now it's down to 13-10 mark here in the late stages of the 4th quarter. But the Vikes have just been consistent at the end of the day, and they've had their runs here and there. And you'll see Chuente and Ralph are going to mix it up for the last couple minutes here.
Well, the formalities left now is to run out the clock and get ready for tomorrow noon. And don't forget, clocks move up an hour tonight, so there's one less hour. So the high noon really is 11 o'clock body clock time for these guys local. Hackett. Robson taking away the valve. Back out, Okeke, and the Pointe-Claire natives sent that back to the West Island of Montreal, and this goes back over to UVic with 1:42 left.
I'll go to that diamond format again. You just attack the teeth of it through the middle. You'll see a Ralph flash that draws attention. Ronaldo then skip across the pond. Easy breakout. Test
for Georges. No good. Rebound right through the nutmeg of legs, and this will be UVic ball with 1:30 left in this ball game.
Just a good execution in the half court there, but the break has been good all evening for the Vikes. So it's just kind of stat padding time right now for Victoria.
The air resonation for Brock, but Hackett now trying to keep it slightly close, and he goes up for the hoop, no harm, and now we go back with a 13-point lead for the Vikes.
He won't go down without a fight. A team high 14 points off 5 of 14 shooting to go along with a team high 12 rebounds.
Robson trapped. Robson snatched away by Hackett. Hackett off balance, back out it comes Guessman. Chuente, near side. Okeke redeems himself from the 3.
Still 10 points. I mean, you're still asking a lot, but a good looking shot there.
And now Ralph will bring it back up court.
They do the smart thing, break the press, and then settle into the half court, burn some clock here.
It appears now for Brock, they're going to try to hopefully come up with a stop. Ralph to put this game away. And Hackett with the rebound, 44 seconds left, so not yet, but almost there for the Vikes. Nelson, put back, Guessman, rebound, and that will be it.
Well, they let him have those 4 or 5 seconds by baiting him into the hole there. Even with that, too, you still would have had a tall task, but finishing touches here as Brock should have the last possession pending an offensive board by the Vikes. They might just dribble this out.
The white flag raised by Brock, the air of resonation now on their faces. Robson, and the rebound right to Hackett, to Chuente, and that is it here. UVic, UQAM tomorrow. It is the sky blue against the all whites here at Laval University. And Chuente.
Nothing easy at the end of the day. You see Smith look over at Chuente there, and they're exchanging words, but they don't want anything to go wayside here. They don't care what kind of game it is.
No, none indeed, and that's why this game had a bit of spice with the dunk competition right there from Chuente on Smith, and
some might argue better than the dunk contest itself, my friend.
We had 2 highlight dunks today, 3 for the UQAM game. But they win UVic convincing from start to finish, and now they'll get UQAM tomorrow afternoon at 12 noon. here on CBC Sports, and we'll have now the semifinal games coming up in about an hour's time. But before we get to that, though, we'll have the player of the games coming up, courtesy of Marc-Antoine Garapi, the PA announcer, who will get this festivities going underway here. So Brock will be done. The OUA runner-up will be 0-2, and now they could head home tomorrow morning back to St. Catharines, Ontario. But they will be a top 8 team, and that is something they can be proud of after being 11-11 during the regular season.
Well, and that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. They played their best basketball when it mattered most, and it doesn't matter what your record is, it's just to get in.
Here's Marc-Antoine Garapi.
The player of the game for Brock, le numéro 3, number 3, Devontae Hackett.
Good job by Devontae Hackett. 14 points, 13 rebounds. That's a game high for rebounds on either side. 5 of 14 from the field. A valiant effort in a losing cause.
Et le joueur du match du côté des Vikes, the player of the game for the Vikes, le numéro 6, number 6, Diego Mafia.
Who else would you have guessed?
Not a shock over there.
25 points, more three-pointers made, 8-6. He outscored the Brock Badgers from the land beyond. I mean, he's a lethal scoring weapon, averages 27 a game, and you saw it on display here today. More of the effort we would have thought would have happened for the Vikes in their quarterfinal matchup.
So that will do it for us here from the Consolation game. As you see the highlights here, an emphatic win for the Victoria Vikings over the Brock Badgers. They now move on to the 5th place game. They'll play UCamp tomorrow afternoon at 12. Up next, it will be the semifinal games. Semifinal number 1, Ottawa, Queens, followed by Laval, Dalhousie. We'll have that for you here on the 2024 U Sports Men's National, presented by Green Shield, Michelob Light on CBC Sports. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.